Hi everyone, welcome to today's tutorial. I'm Carl Daog and I'm here to make math concepts easier and hopefully a bit more enjoyable. In this video, we'll dive into the world of horizontal asymptotes. What are they, how to find them, and why they matter. Let's get started. Let's begin by understanding what a horizontal asymptote is. Simply put, a horizontal asymptote is a horizontal line that a graph approaches as x moves toward positive or negative infinity. Think of it as a guideline that shows us the graph's behavior as it stretches into the extremes. Let's talk about the guidelines for finding limits at positive-negative infinity of rational functions. So the first guideline, if the degree of the number is less than the degree of denominator, then the limit of the rational function is 0. For the second guideline, if the degree of the numerator is equal to the degree of the denominator, then the limit of the rational function is the ratio of the leading coefficients. For the third and the last guideline, if the degree of the numerator is greater than the degree of the denominator, then the limit of the rational function does not exist. So here we have an example. The limit of 3x to the power of 4 minus 7x squared plus 2 over 2x to the power of 4 plus 1 as x approaches to negative infinity. So the first step we need to do is to find which variable has the highest degree. So for this example, we have the x to the power of 4. So we'll put the x to the power of 4 in the denominator. So we have the 3x to the power of 4 over x to the power of 4 minus 7x squared over x to the power of 4 plus 2 over x to the power of 4 over 2x to the power of 4 over x to the power of 4 plus 1 over x to the power of 4. Then we'll find the answer. So as all we know, to find the answer, we need to use the guidelines. The guideline number 2, if the degree of the numerator is equal to the degree of the denominator, then the limit of the rational function is the ratio of the leading coefficients. So for the 3x to the power of 4 over x to the power of 4, we see that they have the same degree, so we'll find the highest leading coefficient. So for this, we have the 3, so we write 3. And as for the 7x to the power of 2 over x to the power of 2, we'll use the first guideline. If the degree of the numerator of the number is less than the degree of the denominator, then the limit of the rational function is 0. So we have 0 plus, as we can see, the 2 over x to the power of 4, the 2 doesn't have a variable, so we'll put 0. And in the denominator part, we have 2x to the power of 4 over x to the power of 4. We'll use the first guideline. They have the same degree, so we'll use the 2. So 2 plus 1 over x to the power of 4 is equals to 0. So we'll have an answer of 3 over 2. So for the next example, we have the limitations of square root of t squared plus 1 over 2t plus 1 as t approaches to positive infinity. So for the first step, we'll find which variable has the highest degree, which is the t squared. So we'll put that as our denominator for every variable. So we'll have square root of t2 over t squared plus 1 over t squared over 2t over, let's copy the square root as square root of t squared plus 1 over square root of t squared. As for the next step, we'll rewrite t square root of t squared over t squared plus 1 over t squared over 2t. We'll cancel out the squared by the square root, so we'll get t. instead of square root of t squared. So 2t over t plus 1 over t. So we'll get t squared over t squared will get 1, and 1 over t squared will get 0 over 2t over t. They have the same degree of variable degree, so we'll use the leading coefficient, which is the 2, plus 1 over t, which we know is equals to 0, so the answer is 1/2 or 1 over 2. Now for the next example, let's try a little bit harder. We have the limitations of cube root of 8x cubed plus x squared minus 1 over 1 minus 5x. So as for the first step, as always, we'll find the highest the variable with the highest degree, which is the x cubed. So we'll put that x cubed as our denominator. So we'll rewrite this as the cube root of 8x cubed over x cubed plus x squared over x cubed minus 1 over x cubed over 1 over this cube root of x cubed minus 5x over cube root of x cubed. Just like what we did in the previous example, we need to cancel out the x cubed with the cube root. So as we rewrite it, the cube root of 8x to the power of 3 over x cubed plus x squared over x cubed minus 1 over x cubed over 1 over x minus 5x over x. So to answer this, we'll get at 8x cubed minus x cubed. They have the same degree, so we'll use the leading coefficient, which is the number 8, and we get x squared over x cubed. We all know that's 0 minus 1 over x cubed is also 0. So over 0 minus 0, 1 over x is equals to 0, while 5x over x is equals to 5. And we have cube root of 8 plus 0 minus 0 over 0 minus 5. So we'll just put cube root of 8 over negative 5. As we all know that the cube root of 8 is 2, so we'll put 2 as our numerator, and negative 5, so we'll put the negative beside the fraction, so we'll get the answer negative 2 over 5. So why should we bother with horizontal asymptotes? Simple. They're super useful when analyzing real-world scenarios and predicting long-term behavior. For example, they appear in models involving population growth, physics, or even economics. Essentially, in any situation where we want to understand what happens when certain variable increase or decrease to infinity. That's it! Horizontal asymptotes made simple. I hope this tutorial helped clarify how to find them and why they're useful. Remember, math doesn't have to be intimidating, it's all about finding the right approach. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.